I'm like, yo, it's not even 30.
It was a couple years ago. It was 50.
But dog, everything is like we all spoke about. Everything is fucking
All right,
five
go
by.
time, go time. What's up, y'all? Back to cap off the weekend. Myself, I'm here with Mr. Roxbury, and then my guy AD, my guy with the prison cup and the security shirt on.
This is Alcatraz Cup. Look, it says it right. It says it right on there.
No, I
Look,
mean,
Alcatraz, right there.
I'm
Alcatraz.
seeing you with the prison cut. All right, man. All right, we got some major topics tonight. Number one topic: what happened to the Celtics? AD, straight out the gate. What happened to the Celtics? In your opinion, what happened to the Celtics?
I think two things happened to. Well, a few things happened to him. JB didn't perform like the MVP candidate that he was.
Even though he
That
had
he
33.
was. Yeah, but that series wasn't even supposed to go 7 games. You know what I mean? They was up 3-1. So you had numerous opportunities. You shit at the bed in Philly. You had a so-so game when you lost in Boston. You know what I mean? Like, and it looked. I know people are gonna bring it up, especially these fake Celtics fans. It looked like he was taking a back seat, and there was no reason for him to take a back seat because Tatum was already took the back seat. You know what I mean? So I was disappointed in Jalen. Um, they have no big man presence defensively, like at all, and they have no point guard play. Like your best playmaker was out for Game 7, which is Jason Tatum, and I'm tired of seeing Pritchard probing for pointless. He just probes just a probe. He's not even getting assists out of it. He's not even moving the ball out of it. Um, Derek White will probably be traded this offseason. And some other
That's a lot
other
for a team that's supposed to make the finals. AC, what you got?
I definitely didn't have him making the
Oh,
finals. But go
I
ahead.
mean, AC,
Yeah.
what you got?
I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. Actually, it's
Start with your money.
Nah,
so
start with
okay.
Missoula.
So total money lost in the first round for me $650. $650 gone. And then like I thought maybe I had a chance with the Celtics. Wasn't even thinking about it. I was so confident, even despite Missoula, that this series was going to be over, that I made plans for last night. Like I just imagine I didn't watch the game live because I figured the series would be over. It never in my mind did I think that and when I rewatched it today, I had all day just to consume this. And I purposely ignored all the fuckery.
Hold on, AC.
I don't want
Look at this
don't
guy.
even bring
Look at
someone
this
too
guy.
liberal.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
All right.
Yo, who is that?
I
Lester.
can't even see. All right.
Oh,
That's okay. I thought you were bringing somebody else.
Go ahead, AC.
So the
oh
thing is,
my
when you watch
God.
the first quarter, literally, we can. I wish we could just rewind the tape and play what we talked about before the playoffs started, before Tatum
That's
came
another
back.
episode. I got receipts.
It-
I'm putting together the receipts.
Before Tatum came back, and what we looked at again, and we said it even after he came back. We're like, okay, this looks okay. Tatum looks like he's sort of, being secondary. But then once again, once the playoffs started, Missoula cannot. He's now lost to a lower seed. What is it? 3 out of 4 years now. The Celtics, all of a sudden, Jason Tatum is taking the lead. You see Jaylen Brown back in the corner. And one of the reasons you see that is because despite all the secondary dudes who are trying to force us to believe that Jaylen Brown is the man, he's just very, very good. He is not going to lead a basketball team to the title. And you saw that. And what happened was Philly was like, okay, we know what he's going to do. The ref stopped letting him use his arm to push everybody
Uh,
out the way in the series.
13 offensive fouls for the series.
And as soon as that happened, the whole thing changed. And the biggest thing, too, and I think you see it now in terms of what coaching means in the NBA. we saw a team who played the exact same way the whole series. And one of the problems that Missoula has is he's going up against, quite frankly, just better coaches. So we watched Nick Nurse come in. We watched Game 4. I said when Embiid came back, I immediately teased the line up to 13 and a half because reintroducing him to a team that hadn't had him in the middle of the playoffs was a problem. Philadelphia saw that. Like they had to do shooting threes. He even said in the press conference, they were like, oh, wait, we don't have to do that. Like they have no one to stick Embiid. We can move him in at the top of the key. We can move him at the free throw line. We can do all this extra stuff. The Celtics are good. Cater's going to fall out. Garza did nothing. And Vooch, oh my God. Like they were laughing when he was sticking Embiid. And the coach of the Boston Celtics made zero adjustments. He hasn't made any adjustments since he's been the coach of the Boston Celtics. And that is the problem that we're seeing. We can no longer ignore this. You cannot lose to a lower seed the way that the Boston Celtics have lost to a lower seed and just keep your fucking job. This is crazy right now, what we're seeing. Are we going to talk about the tanking yet, or are we going to wait for it?
No.
Okay.
No, you know what we need to talk about though? You kind of hit on
wait, hold on. I'm not gonna mention the tanking.
I'll let you.
I'm not gonna mention the tanking.
Here's the reason why I'm letting folks get off right now is because we told y'all. We told y'all. It don't mean we hate the Celtics. We told y'all.
So you look at that coaching. You look at what happened,
man. Russ the guy
with a 3-1 lead. This has never happened. This is officially the worst playoff loss in Boston Celtics history. Think about it. The Celtics have never given up a 3-0 lead, a 3-1 lead, the way that this basketball team just did. Number one, they gave up a 3-1 lead. Number two, they did it at home. At home. Game 2, the last 4 years, the Celtics have sucked. They lost Game 2 to Indy. They lost Game 2 to Miami. They lost Game 2 this year. This dude should have been fired if not for Derek White's putback his first year versus Miami when they were about to get swept. I honestly believe that he was out the door if Derek White doesn't make that miraculous putback. We are now seeing, and this is something that you have to admit, when you go back and look, I hate hindsight, but you have to look at the title year, the awful coaching that he did versus Indy, but Indy's best player was hurt. Miami's player was hurt. By the time they walked into the finals against a garbage Dallas team that we still don't know how that team made the finals. And every other year, this dude has underperformed. He's underperformed every year, and we have to start talking about that. I've seen a bunch of yahoos today, which I had to keep myself from commenting, making all kinds of bullshit excuses about why the Celtics lost this series. You can look at, they had the more talented roster. They had a series lead. They had home court advantage. They lost because of coaching. They didn't lose because, Tatum didn't play Game 7. The series should have been over by then. If they come ready to play, do you know how much of a bad coach you have to be to get Brian Scalabrine to say on air, like, the Celtics are playing too arrogant. The Celtics aren't ready to play. Do you realize how bad you have to be?
I know. You have to be a next level,
right?
A next level like homer to do that. Shout out to EJ Day. If y'all don't know EJ Day, one of the best players to come out of New England, man. Shout out to you. And he loves Joe, but it is what it is.
It's Bill Simmons. Bill Simmons, another homer. Say the same thing. Like Bill Simmons is. We have two of the biggest national homers. Like they're not as big as Tommy Heinsohn was, but they're up there.
Shout out to Sharif. Let me break it down. Since y'all give it a pretty accurate breakdown, let me give y'all a quick breakdown. Boston took 21 more threes than Philadelphia did, right? But only gained 6 extra points. They were 13 for 49 from 3. Philly went 11.
Yep.
That means they launched 49 threes and only made 2 more than Philly, right? And then they shot 37 for 93, and Philly shot 39 for 82. It's like when you factor in threes, Boston's like effective field goal percentage was like 46.8, and Phillies was 54.3.
54.
Crazy,
Yep.
right? 3 of the Celtics starters gave him 0 points.
Nada. Did what we did.
0 points, right? Like,
Yo, I'm surprised. I'm surprised AC didn't touch on that. I was gonna say that too.
No, I because I don't want to.
Like,
I wanted to. That's why I asked about tanking, because I want to save the
not like,
tanking part for later.
because I don't understand what was
hold on.
his what was his lineup.
Let me
Go
nail
ahead.
this other point. Boston cut the lead to 101-98.
Yep.
And then Maxey scored the next 8 points. And they missed the next 4 shots after Maxey's layup. Like, I don't even, like, here's the thing, right? You know, we can talk about, shout out to Sharif, but we can talk about the zone going, like, we can talk about adjustments all we want, right? It's the philosophy. Do I think he's a good coach? I think he's a good coach. But, however,
He's not a good coach.
I think what people need to understand is that, and I've said this for a very long time. I've said this for 4 years now. Everybody went the Steph Curry shoot 'em up, bang bang route. But the problem was there's only one Steph Curry. So then the Celtics were able to win a series against a bad Mavericks team, right? And then everybody seems to think that's the philosophy, right? And then all of a sudden the league just starts pulling back. Nah, OKC didn't win with all threes. The Spurs ain't gonna win 5 of the next 7 championships shooting all threes. The philosophy has to change, right? And there are some critical points in the game in the series. Here's the most alarming thing. Not only did they blow a 3-1 lead, if Philly scored 1 more point than they did last night, they would have lost all 3 games by double digits. Right? That shit is insane.
That's a basketball team not ready to play basketball. That's a culture to get blown out every single time. Like, we've all played ball, we've all played different sports. You lose, that happens. You're gonna get your ass kicked every now and then. But to lose it the way they did, and we watched them quit in game 2. Like, we watched them, they just quit in game 2. We watched it. And that is a cultural thing. To be down 32-19 after the first quarter, that's a culture. That's a culture in game 7. No other team in Boston. We have a different standard here in the city. We all know what that standard is. Last year, we watched the worst coaching job in history, Celtics versus Knicks, with Missouri losing. Then we watched the Knicks. But hold on. Then we watched the Knicks, the very next series. The very next series, the Knicks played Indiana. The Knicks had a better team than Indiana. That was a bad coaching job by Tibbs. He was fired immediately. Immediately, he was fired. And we're looking at other teams in other places like, this is not going to work. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have not had an NBA coach their entire career. Every coach they've had is a first-time coach. Every single one. Who we've got on-the-job learning, and we are – imagine, this is, Jaylen Brown's 10th year. This would be Tatum's 9th. We legitimately might only get one sort of dubious title from this duel. That's what we're looking at right now.
If they stay together, I want to welcome Steve and Les to the table. Now, Les, we already talked about the game, but I need you to talk to the folks on the board who be running their mouth. Oh, I'm sorry, your colleagues, your Homer Yahoo colleagues. I'm not completely enjoying this because I think, but I am enjoying the fact that we were right. We were accurate. We were accurate. Go ahead, Les.
So I'm experimenting with new names. I think Aaron Carter might be familiar with this character, but a lot of these Celtics fans, they're nothing but Olivers. They're useless. They think they know what they're doing. They think they can one-shot a giant. They're always right. They don't listen. And next thing you know, they get their face slapped off in half and float in space. That's the way I think about a lot of these Yahoos. They're Olivers. They're Olivers, right? Let me watch my language because I was about to start going off, but I'm gonna chill.
Olivers.
I don't
They're Olivers.
understand. Yeah, if you watch Invincible, it's this guy named Oliver. He's totally useless, right?
Yo.
And he got his face slapped half off in space. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Somehow he
It was
survived.
beautiful.
Anyways,
Yo,
it's so I don't understand why people have a problem with just being honest. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I think Joe Mazzulla is a terrible coach or what. But I
He's a
will
terrible
say
coach.
this: I used to at least think he was a good motivator. He sucks at motivating.
Yeah, he's not that. He's not that.
He's not that. Like, let's
he's not a motivator.
Let's forget this season for a second. In the playoffs last season, you're at home. You go down 0-2 at home to a New York Knicks team.
Being up double figures both games.
With one of the players that all the Yahoos think are soft or is gay or something, right? You let this man play
Cat.
right, and now this year,
Demonetized.
I wish Adam was on this call. And this year, I think a couple of weeks ago, Adam was like, "Man, if MB come back," and dudes was laughing at him, right? And MB come back, and I'm sitting there like, "Man, if they don't end this, if they don't, like, he's gonna get stronger." And lo and behold, he's getting strong. It was like watching Rocky, getting stronger. It was crazy, dog. And he made no adjustments. He made no adjustments. I don't understand. They shot 49 threes. I had a dude who I respect trying to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't complain when they go in. What do you mean I don't complain? Have you not seen me say that they shoot too many threes even when they go in? They take terrible shots. They take shots. Dude, I haven't played basketball seriously in 5 years. Maybe 6. I am so angry. I can't even put into words. Right? And then, you know what? All right, let's say it's not the coach. If it's not the coach, then it's the players, right? If it's not the players, it's the GM. If it's not the GM, it's the owner. They don't want to blame anybody. It's frustrating.
All right, so my question, AC, make a case for them to replace the coach. And who would you? What kind of coach do they need? If they're keeping JB and JT, AC, make the case for firing.
They need an NBA coach. They need a coach who's actually coached in the NBA, not named Doc Rivers. Let's not be stupid. We need a good NBA coach. So I would take a Tibbs. I would take whoever, quite a few people that are out there, but they need an NBA coach who's been through it, who can have some authority in the building and can actually make adjustments. Now, Tibbs with the minutes and things like that, you need maybe him and then a good assistant. But they need an NBA coach. Joe Mazzulla. We have, if we look at it, forget personal feelings and everything, and we're just looking at results. Those results are not good enough. It is not good enough for the Boston Celtics. Period. You can put a bunch of verbiage behind it. You can put a bunch of stuff, but statistically, it's not good enough. And if you're honest about his performance and the title, you can't go by that and just go, oh yeah, he's just going to be good. With his act has run down, and I think you saw his glare. He never answers any question with his back and forth, Rain Man, nothing.
He's in the Matrix. You're in the Matrix right now. Shout out to my man C Mills. C Mills said Joe is executing Brad's philosophy, and he gave Les a shout out for Les going after the Yahoos. Steve, what kind of?
Can I say one quick thing? Can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
This is how insane people are. I just looked at my Facebook page and I posted this picture, right? And I'm old, so maybe my eyes are wrong. And there's a 4 on 5. There's 4 Philadelphia 76ers in the picture. There's 5 Celtics in the picture, and Nate bleeping Godson was like, wide open shot. You can't get a better shot 5-on-4 in an effing basketball game? These dudes don't even run hard down the court to get an easy basket.
I can't hear him, but it sounds like he's going.
Let me
It seems
chill.
like he's
I'm
going
sorry.
on.
I'm sorry. I'm about to get off this call, to be honest with you. I'm too emotional to have this conversation. And I don't want to get punched in the face walking down the street randomly one day.
Nah, but for real, Les, right? This is my thing, right? Everybody is like, it's the Brad Stevens, it's the Joe Mazzulla philosophy. It's not. Corey hit it right on the head. It's the Golden State philosophy that they adapted basically seven years ago. They built their team for Golden State. They adapted their culture, play defense, shoot threes. They actually shoot more threes than Golden State, which is crazy to me. But they do, right? And I'm with you, Les. Like they shouldn't shoot threes, right? But my thing is, right, Les, when you have a coach who really doesn't run X's and O's, the Celtics offense is based on a lot of one-on-one, get into the paint, kick, three. You know what I mean? So AC was talking about Tibbs. Tibbs is not the coach to coach the Celtics anymore. Like I don't know who is, but it ain't Tibbs. You know what I mean?
It's definitely not Tibbs.
Before I ask Steve a question, right? Before I ask Steve a question, let me do something. Let me add something to the table real quick. Let me add something to the table. Let me know if y'all can see this. Y'all see my screen? All right. Hold on.
It's loaded.
Okay, I see Jaylen Brown with his glasses
This is the
on.
board. This is the group. Adam. Prince, Republican Wade. Adam.
No.
Remember when Vujicic and when we got Vooch? I thought he was a missing piece to the puzzle. Stubborn Joe.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
I ain't gonna lie. The board has the group has lost their mind today.
Yo, what's going on here?
You think this is funny? You think this is all funny, Corey?
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
Lester, you got like 10 of these joints, bro.
Because I'm angry. I want my team to win. Is it too much to expect my team to win in the first round?
And we got Handy with a WNBA.
Is it like seriously? Everyone's trying to make it sound like I expected too much of them winning a first round.
Look at Adam. Hold on. Look at
Adam. They're making Embiid and Maxey sound like Shaq and Kobe all of a sudden.
Oh man.
Damn.
Oh man. Oh, this is AC's point.
AC be stealing my stuff sometimes. He just says it way more mean than I do.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I said nothing.
AC be out here trying to bury people in the comments. He just be like,
they should, because this has gotten to a point. It's just ridiculous at this point.
It's nasty. It's nasty work.
So Steve, what do they got to do?
Yeah, what the hell's going on in this game?
Steve, what they got to do to improve for next year?
Yeah, we got to do some background checks before brothers join the group.
Oh man.
Here's an unpopular thing they need to do. If you're not going to trade, I'm not necessarily saying they should trade Jaylen or Tatum. I get why you would trade Jaylen. He's probably more valuable than he'll ever be right now today. But I do think you force Joe's hand to play differently by making certain moves. Like this team needs some toughness added. They need like a 6'10" dude who can move his feet on defense, and he's just tough. Someone that's really mean and nasty. I don't know who that is because not that many mean and nasty dudes in the NBA anymore. And I think you got to upgrade a couple of the wing spots. You know, I mentioned in the chat, I think Aaron and Corey, you're on that chat. You know, I like that kid in Charlotte, Josh Green. You know, I think he's not getting a lot of run in Charlotte. He's not that, like, I don't think they would want I suspect they won't want a ton for him. He could shoot the ball around 40%. He's a good defender. He's a smart, good teammate. I think you got to add more toughness in brains. And if you're not gonna change this style, if you want to be Golden State, then you gotta get rid of a lot of them dudes because I don't think I've ever seen Sam hit a shot that meant anything ever.
This is what they're saying on Instagram. Celtics' problem is arrogance. They believe they're supposed to win. Also, LeBron stinks. Good night. Damn. All right. Somebody said Miles Turner, Nas Reed from the Bucks.
Miles Turner.
I mean,
Miles Turner. Do you see what he's doing with the Bucks?
So let's talk. Let's talk.
I don't blame Turner for what's happening in the Bucks.
Excuse me.
Let's shift to some improvement because we already piled.
You got to be a professional, Les.
We already piled on enough. So
that's a good point.
AC, I'm gonna start with you, and then we'll go to Steve, and we'll go to AD, and then we'll go to Les. How are we improving? What trades are we making? If you're the GM today, what are we doing?
Yeah, who's we? Who's we? What are we talking? What?
The Celtics. Who's not we? Sorry, the Celtics.
Yeah,
we. I mean, you know, I don't have a team, but it seems like AD. It seems like AC and Steve's in the Matrix. AD, what are we doing tomorrow? If you're the GM, what are we doing tomorrow?
Let's hit on it. You got to get a big, right? I think I stated it earlier in the episode. You got to get a big, and they also need a playmaker, whether it's a point guard playmaker, a wing playmaker, because other than Jason Tatum, nobody can play make, and that's disgusting. It really is. It's nasty. That's why it's hard to watch the Celtics play basketball, and that's why you see them hoisting up threes because they don't have the creators to create anything to even get a mid-range jumper off.
Les, what do you think?
Was making that trade for was getting rid of Simmons the wrong move? I know we're doing Monday Night Quarterback.
I actually thought about that today. Should we have kept Simons?
Yes.
Not we. Should they? Yeah. Why do I say we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I hate to say it because it's Monday Night Quarterback. I was 50-50 on the move, so I'm not going to really criticize anyone for not thinking. But Monday Night Quarterback, and I think keeping him would have been worth it. But who do you get? I mean,
because my point is, if we're going to be critical of the Celtics, if we're the GM, what do we do? Well, how do we get them?
I'm gonna tell you another thing. We've been talking about this for years too. You might have to get rid of Derek White.
I mean, what? All right, AC. Now AC's back on. AC, you're the GM of the Celtics. What are your moves to make them a championship team?
I take and this is something that I've been thinking about and pondering. I take a Derek White at $30 million and a couple fill-ins, whatever, and I trade him to the Memphis Grizzlies for one John Morant at a distressed value. Mr. Gunman, Mr. Everything. See, I know that's the problem. I don't even believe this trade either.
God.
Wait. He's not my type of player anymore. But I do think that on his salary, on everything, if we're not trading Jaylen Brown, which is my preference, but if we're not trading Jaylen Brown and we're keeping him, then a player like a John Morant, a redemption thing, you got the two. Jaylen Brown, I think, has the cachet as VP of the, Players Association and all that sort of thing to sort of be there, keep this idiot from pointing guns at fans and shit. I think that I see you shaking your
Aaron
head.
Hernandez.
No,
It's gonna be Aaron Hernandez, bro. It's gonna be Aaron Hernandez.
Come on now. I don't think he's gonna be that bad. But if you're talking about
he grew up in a suburb, man. He thinks he's a.
No, if you're talking about a player, a splash, because I don't see in terms of salary. I mean, what's Derek White's salary? $30 million, right?
I
Something
believe
like
so.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Something like that.
There's not a player. There's not a player that you're going to get that's going to make a difference and add a little culture to this basketball team. Also, too, if he's going to be around, Rain Man Joe Mazzulla, that might also help too. But I think with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, where it's clearly they have the cachet to where John Morant is not the face of the basketball team, and he's coming in and playing. What other trade besides trading Jaylen Brown to the Hawks for their picks and whatnot are you going to make to take the Boston Celtics from what they are, which is having zero chance against OKC and probably by next year 0 chance against San Antonio? What else are you going to do? There's no other player that's available, and don't say Giannis, because the only way you're getting him is by trading Jaylen Brown.
Derek White is going to be making $30.3.5 million.
$30 million. So
I think there's one player, but they can't pull it off They can't pull it off unless they bought him out, and they won't. There's one player that if they kept if they kept Tatum and Brown, and there's one player, not Morant. No, not for me. Morant is
I think reclamation project.
Right? I get it. You're speaking of reclamation, and they probably play the same amount of games. I go get the guy that gets you rim pressure. I go get Zion.
You got your mind?
Huh?
I don't think you can get him.
I know people gonna think it's crazy.
I don't hate that.
Zion's gonna punish you on the switch. He's gonna punish you in the pick and roll. He's gonna punish you. And honestly, New Orleans, Chris Paul was talking about it.
He's gonna punish them lobster rolls. He's gonna punish them clams.
No.
Hold on, he's in the best shape of his life. And guess what? New Orleans Pelicans, their training staff has been historically bad. So he and the Celtics has been just okay. But I think Zion thrives here, and Tatum and Brown work way too hard to score.
I believe
not Zion.
I believe Daniel Daly to give him credit, he liked Trey Murphy and thought they should probably go after him.
No.
I don't know if you could get him either though.
No, I like the Zion. I like the Zion pick. That really works too. I mean, I don't hate it when you're looking at the salaries, because I think a lot of people, they play freaking video games and they think you could just get a guy. But the Celtics, they do. They're like, oh, you could package and all this other dumb shit. You can't. Zion Williams' salary is $42 million. It's a stupid ass contract for the amount of games that he's played. But if you're looking at, are you keeping Derek White and you're trying to keep Brown and Tatum together, Derek White is the only piece that you can trade to get a player of that caliber.
Pritchard.
His salary is still $8 million.
I'm sorry.
It's still $8 million.
I'm not taking Derek White for Zion. I'm not doing that.
I'm doing that.
You're not. All right, hold on. Zion Williamson is going to change the philosophy instantly.
No, listen to what I'm saying, guys. If I'm New Orleans,
you're not doing that.
And yes, exactly. You call me, I'm hanging up the phone on you. I'm not doing that. You
don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You get out of Zion's contract.
Truth be told, I might rather street clothes more than Zion, because at least he's going to bring you size. I think he plays more than Zion too.
Oh my God!
And I don't want street clothes. I don't. But he's bigger. He plays more games than Zion.
Peyton Pritchard is $7 million the start of next season and the following season. Can't be done.
Can someone look up and see if if Anthony Davis plays more games than Zion.
No, I'm not going to look at it
He
that way because
does.
that's awful. That's
No,
awful.
yeah.
It's
He has.
how Anthony
He has,
Davis
but
Yeah.
it's how he plays.
And he says he would never come here. Like he wouldn't come here to be for Jaylen Brown. So why would he come here now when he's
he say
broken
that?
down inside? Yeah, he refused to come to Boston.
To be
He
honest,
refused to come to Boston. They were stupidly going to trade Jaylen Brown for him from New Orleans, and he said, "No, I'm not going."
So
He refused.
Be clear, I don't want him here because I don't think he plays enough. I think Zion's the same thing, but worse. He doesn't play enough.
Hold on, I put this trade scenario in, and it's worth it, right? You trade. I got you, honey. The Celtics get Zion. The Pelicans receive Derek White, Hauser, Baylor, or Hugo, and multiple first round pick swaps, right? Or you could go with Zion, and then the Pelicans get Vujacic, Hauser, Pritchard.
Vooch is a free agent. He can't be in the trade.
Right. But all I'm saying is this. You get Zion, and he's proven to be healthy a little bit this year, more than street clothes. All I'm saying is your philosophy, he'll get to the line more. He'll clean shit up, and you are not gonna do that, and he's definitely not no cater.
And you know what? In thinking about that, if you plug a Zion in and he gives you what Porzingis did the title year, you're good. Like if he gives you the games and the amount of time that Porzingis and AD, I see you shaking your head.
This is the only reason why I'm shaking my head. AC.
I want to hear what you think is better. That's actually a decent trade that he put together.
No, the only reason why I'm shaking my head, AC, right, was the comparison of Porzingis, and this is why, right? Everybody only talks about Porzingis offensively, but defensively, Porzingis changes the game as well.
He did.
I mean, and Zion doesn't change nothing.
Only at the rim. Zion can switch on the perimeter a whole lot better than.
So I'll bring up a key stat. Not even with the Celtics. I'll bring up a key stat with Golden State. When Golden State plays with Porzingis, the opponents shoot 41%. When he does not play, they shoot 48%. That's a big jump.
It is a big jump.
And I like Porzingis when he played. Unfortunately, he can't. I don't know. Like he just started playing again recently. You know, he's going to be a free agent. I mean, what if you could get him back on the cheap? I don't know if he'd do it.
You can't. The Celtics. He would have to come for I think the veteran, the mid level. Yeah, because they're still over. They're still over the apron. So unless he really loves Jaylen Brown, he's not coming back here.
So I'm not crazy. I'm telling y'all. You need a Zion. You don't need like a guy in the dunker spot. You need a Zion, a dude that impacts the paint, and like it is like a legitimate threat. That's all I'm saying. If I'm the Celtics, I'm not going after Giannis. I'm going after Zion.
No. If you're telling me I could get Giannis or Zion, when I consider everything that I would rather take a chance on Zion than Giannis.
Really?
You would have to give up too much to get. For some reason, people think Giannis is the Giannis from 3-4 years ago. He's been hurt every year. He's got a lot of miles on his body. And what you're looking at is Kevin Garnett. Like people, for some reason, and it's one of the most awful jersey retirements that we have. But people forget that Kevin Garnett played one healthy season. That's all the Celtics got from him. One healthy season.
True.
The rest of the time, and even though the numbers might say 60 games, 70, whatever they say, we all watched the games here. He was not healthy. So although he was in the game, they had to take him out after, 7 minutes every time or whatever it was.
Yeah, 5 minute intervals.
He was playing like he was in the game. He yelled and swore and, called people cancer patients. But the rest of the time, he wasn't the impact player. So I'm looking at Giannis as that if you were to get him, which I don't think you can't get him unless Jaylen Brown's in the trade.
But so if we did play 62 games this year,
Zion, who he's not just like with Morant, he's not the type of player that I like because I don't think he loves basketball. I think he loves pussy and butter cookies and stuff. But Zion
Cookies.
basketball wise works for the Boston Celtics for what they need. Jason Tatum is by far their best rebounder. Zion can
That's a problem.
create, right? That's a huge problem. Zion can create, and when he has the ball at the top of the key, in that rotation. I'm not looking at Zion by himself. If I'm looking at that, I'm looking at
third option.
Right. I'm looking at him with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. That's a different Zion than what Zion is on New Orleans.
But all I'm saying to y'all guys, right? Because all y'all keep talking about is offense. Look at him defensively. He doesn't stop nothing. Nothing. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't rebound. The man has never averaged more than 10 rebounds in the NBA season.
He definitely under rebounds. But you have if you can function the way that they did with Akeda, and I'm assuming they'll get at least one upgrade in the paint. If you can function the way that they did with Kata, then you can function that way with Zion.
And all he needs is weak side rebounds, right? All I'm saying is he's better than folks think because I think he's good at a pick and roll. He has a 6'11" wingspan for his size at 6'6". He literally can slide with wings. He blows up dribble handoffs. He recover. He's underrated as a defender, right? And he's strong enough to play pot to cover and play decent on power forward. The Celtics' philosophy anyway defensively doesn't demand for you to be a stopper anyway. You get weak side blocks and all that shit. So I want to transition really quick because I know we spent a little bit too much time on the Celtics. In the next series coming up, fellas, who we got?
Yeah, it's so bad. it's so bad. Y'all start.
All right, so I'll call the series out. Thunder Lakers.
Thunder.
Just terrible.
Thunder.
It's definitely the Thunder.
Thundercats ho.
Spurs, Timberwolves.
My God.
Spurs.
Is Wemby healthy?
What you mean you getting Wemby? Did you see Wemby when he came back from his concussion? What are you talking
I
about?
want to make sure he's healthy.
What are you talking about? Hold on. What are you talking about, Les? Did you just see his last game? He came back from the concussion. Yeah, he had 7 blocks.
All right, then I'm going with the Spurs.
All right. I don't even know why you asked.
Is he healthy? That's all I know. Because if he's not,
dog. Even if you just watch clips, you've seen Wemby. Wemby out here acting a fool.
All right. Pistons, Cavaliers.
Honestly, that's just an awful series. I go with the Cavaliers in that series.
Oh,
I'm not mad at you for that.
Who won the series?
I'm sticking with the Pistons.
I'm going with the Pistons too.
I don't. If Jared Allen, I'm going with the Cavs. I think I'll take the upset. I won't bet it because I don't bet, but yeah. Now here's the most intriguing one. I hate to tell y'all this, bro. I'm going with the Sixers.
I can't stand both of those teams because I just can't, and I don't know who to pick. I think I'm leaning to the Knicks.
I got the Knicks. I got the Knicks going to the finals now.
You got the Knicks going to the finals?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Aaron, what you got?
I agree. I think this continues the worst season of basketball ever. This is an awful series. For real, this is garbage. And you have a Knicks team that is not good. This series should be a 4-1 series for the Knicks.
AC, I have it from a reliable source that the Knicks didn't want to play Philly and they wanted Boston. And so that gives me pause. Maybe they're a little scared of Philly, but I think the Knicks should still beat Philly.
Can you imagine look at the coaching matchups in this? There is a problem that we have right now. Look at the coaching matchups.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
I think Philly has a better coach. Now I think about it. Y'all,
I
you
mean,
make me change my
And
mind.
but exactly. But just look at that. Like,
I think we're looking at. Are we looking at 4 black? Other than Nurse, we looking at 3 black coaches in the East. The Spurs
Yes.
guy, he's a high yellow dude, but he's a black coach, right?
Who?
The Spurs guy.
Yeah, he's mulatto.
Oh, okay. Who's the best coach left? Who's the best coach left right now in the playoffs? The guy you're gonna go. I mean, do you go with the guy who from OKC who won it from Leominster, Mass? Like who's?
he's the best coach.
He's the best coach.
He's the best coach.
I would like to be honest with you. The best 2 coaches to me is him and Johnson from the Spurs.
And I think the biggest thing too in watching the Spurs and the Thunder, you saw not only the difference in the coaching, but how they use their rotations. So when you look at the Thunder, some of the announcers have kind of mocked them for going 10 deep, but they actually do go 10 deep. It's an effective 10 deep. And that's not just good drafting by Presti. That's good coaching because everybody wants to play. And so for him to be able to rotate those guys the way that he has, when conversely you look at the Celtics and you've got guys who come in and out of the lineup and then they play differently. One's got to take a back seat. I haven't seen one thing about any of the Spurs talking about back seats. And that's coaching right there. And that's also, too, what you're looking at. The rest of these games, no one's even paying attention. The East playoff bracket is useless.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been like there's always been imbalances between the conferences. It's been the East, it's been the West. But you've always thought, hey, this team will do something, except for, the beginning of the century when the Nets were playing the Lakers and you knew the Nets had no shot. I think this is even worse than that. To where whoever comes out the East, if it goes beyond
they're going to get a 4-1 Nugget.
If they're playing a healthy team, as long as there's no injuries, of course, they are going to get annihilated. And this is a bad product that we're watching right now.
Yeah, but this leads me to the final topic. Is it a product of the NBA play or the lack of just good coaching? I could make the case that the coaching is at an all-time. A lot of people say that the play is all-time terrible, but I believe it's the coaching that's all-time terrible. I think we have a lot of bad, like Bickerstaff. I don't care what you like. Mosley, awful. Doc Rivers, awful. Right? I respect Jason Kidd. Like, I just think that the one thing I'll give the 80s is that there were a lot of good coaches. Like, I don't think the coaching is at a premium right now in the league. And I think that's contributing to the problem that people look at the game.
Analytics. And I think analytics ruin the games. Percentages, let me not say ruin the game, but because I do think there's uses for analytics. But I think analytics is a big reason why coaches don't necessarily coach anymore. I think the NBA guidelines for how much you can practice and things like that are a reason why coaches can't coach the game anymore. I also think, people are going to mock me for saying this, it's not like I'm against player empowerment, but there's just, you got to give the coaches the power back. They got to get some of this power back. You got to give the franchise. Then again, some of these franchises probably don't even care, but because they care more about keeping the players healthy, but they got to practice more. Coaches they don't practice. Like,
you hitting it right on the spot. You know what I mean? And that takes away from player development, you know what I mean, and all that. And that's because, unlike the 80s, the players didn't run the league. The players run the league now.
Mm-hmm.
We got to understand that.
They complain about Tibbs left and right and practicing and all that stuff. That's the reason why Tibbs that's why he got let go.
That's where Tibbs come from. But that's where Tibbs come from.
That's where he got got let go in New York. They're like, yo, why he ain't playing X, Y, and Z? And I want to say this, right? And I'm gonna jump back to the Celtics one more time. because this is the Celtics losing show, and this is the Leicester recovery therapeutic session. If you're looking at the draft and the Celtics have a potentially, what's their highest pick they could have?
27.
Who are you going after?
No
Who's
one.
available? I know, but
No one. You trade the pick and see what you can do with the apron. There's no point to drafting anyone unless it's a particular, like somebody falls, they get caught smoking weed or something like that. Unless it's a player that really falls in the draft. This is an NBA. This is a team that should be built to win the Eastern Conference. It's simple. So every move that should be made should be geared towards that. And as far as I can tell, Missoula's not going anywhere. So the trades that we talked about, the only way that you're going to improve this basketball team is either a young stud, which is you would have to get up into the top 5 for that, which probably is not going to happen, or you get an NBA veteran that already knows how to play basketball and is going to do some of the dirty work. So remember 2008 when PJ Brown came in?
Yes.
Remember the PJ Brown edition, and PJ Brown is not an all-star. He was on his final legs. Then this dude was sitting at home, I think, when they called him.
He was.
But a PJ Brown type of player on this basketball team changes that. Even a guy with some mouth who's going to answer some questions that Tatum and Brown they simply don't have the interest or personality to do. And that's what there's no more young stuff. These guys, we keep thinking of Brown and Tatum as young dudes. They're grown now.
They're veterans.
They're 30.
The 10th and 9th year.
But for some reason, I do it too. We also think of them as young for some reason. We don't know why, but we still think of them as young. Yeah. They've been a decade.
They're up there, and they got, and honestly, I was talking to AC on the phone, and we were, I was saying that somebody brought up that JB himself has had more hamstring and groin injuries than LeBron has his entire career. It's just to speak to sort of like the injuries and all that stuff adding up. I think the Celtics get somebody at 27. I like the kid from Arizona, Cole Pete. I like the big from kid
These
from
fucking chips.
I don't.
I like the big kid from Michigan. You never know, right? But I do like him.
I do like him.
Huh? You do like him?
I like the big man from Michigan. I do like him.
So, but what I will tell you is there wasn't. I don't want another 6'6". If I'm the Celtics, I don't want another 6'6" wing guy like a Gonzalez. Remember that time they drafted a kid from Kentucky, and then they drafted another kid from Kentucky, and they drafted another. What's the guy's name? James. Oh man. James Young. They drafted James Young. They drafted a bunch of dudes.
Great Danny Ainge.
What the hell is going on, right? It's like they're like Belichick-like in terms of their draft. I just think that they got to trade up for someone, or they have to really look the part with one of their stars. And we can't just throw Derek White out there somewhere. I think if the roster needs to adjust to the philosophy shift. If they don't get rid of the coach, they got to change the philosophy. And you can't do it without.
You're right. They got to force Joe's hand to play a different way. So not even necessarily play a different way, but have a different way available.
So, guys, I wanted to bring this up, right? Well, we keep bringing this up, right? You know how we keep talking about how the Celtics built their team for Golden State, right? And we already know that's not the answer no more for championships. You have to build your franchise how OKC and the Spurs is doing it, which is depth. Look at both of those teams. They both go 10 deep. San Antonio has
if you talk to
players.
Celtics fans, AD, they'll tell you that they're 10 deep.
I don't care what they tell you.
All these Baylor Shireman fans on the board, bro. Look at the Hugo Gonzalez fan club, bro.
Did you touch on that? Because my feed got taken, but did you guys touch on the way that this roster was constructed? No. Oh, you didn't.
No, but we can right now. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
So let me just say this because it occurred to me when I was watching the game and really looking at it, and I was reading all the Yahoo comments from it. I honestly believe that Brad got executive of the year and all this stuff. When you really look at the moves that were made and you remove what actually happened, I honestly believe that the Celtics were tanking this year. I think when you look at that roster construction, you basically had Jaylen Brown, who had never played as well as he played this year, and you had Peyton Pritchard and Derek White. That was the roster. Everybody else is, fringe NBA people. So I think what happened, it was a repeat of the Isaiah Thomas situation. I think Danny Ainge, when Danny Ainge traded for Isaiah Thomas, he was trying to improve their draft stock, but Isaiah Thomas came in and turned into an all NBA level player and fifth in the MVP voting. Nobody thought that. He did not trade for Isaiah Thomas to lead the Celtics to a number one seed. And when we watched that team, we all knew that they weren't a true number one seed. I think what happened this year is a couple things. The same way that it was an anomaly, the same way that Golden State was able to get Kevin Durant during the uncapped year, that's what happened with the Celtics. I think the Celtics roster construction was going to be a gap year, but Jaylen Brown came in and played the best he's ever played. And then you had 8 teams, almost a third of the league, openly tanking from like Christmas onward. This is the worst year in NBA history, 50-plus loss team. And I think of the Celtics' 50-plus wins, most of those came against teams that were trying to lose. So we looked at a team that when you look at their roster and everyone goes, oh, well, we should have tanked. Yes, you should have. I think they were trying to tank. And it ended up being where they won so many games that people were fooled into thinking that they were much better than what they were. And again, I want to stress this. This shit is not hindsight. I'm not saying this because they lost the series. We have this on tape on this show saying the exact same shit.
We had
right.
We had it. Now the question is, AC and Les, should they I said it, AC said it, should they have tanked? You had every excuse to tank.
I was wrong. I thought they were going to only win like 30-something games. I really did. And that's
everybody did.
And that's why I was like, yo, that's why I think it was 2 weeks ago. I kept on saying I'd give the MVP to Jaylen because ain't nobody with their right mind, except for homers, thought they would be this good.
What was it? Was it them being that good, or was it AC?
Honestly, I think Aaron.
Was AC's point of like, yo, them trying.
I think Aaron made a really.
Other teams are trying to pack themselves up.
I think Aaron made a really good point, and maybe Brad felt like, hey, we got to do this salary stuff. He made certain moves. I think Aaron's making a point. But that still doesn't excuse, because I know this is going to be used against me at some point. This still doesn't excuse losing to Philly when you're up 3-1. I'm sorry, but
it doesn't. It doesn't.
No, we all agree to that.
Yeah,
we all. Agree to that.
It definitely doesn't excuse it. I honestly think that what you mentioned. I think Brad looked at the roster because again, look at the moves that he made. They got him under the salary cap. They got him under not the salary cap, but the apron. Mm-hmm. None of those moves improved the Celtics. Like if you take a step back and go, wait a minute, did they get better? And when you talk about how many wins they were going to have, people didn't say the Celtics were going to win 36 games simply because they hate the Celtics. We didn't get those numbers. Vegas didn't get those numbers out of thin air. So the roster that was constructed, whenever they do the over-unders and we'll sit there, we'll pick the over-unders and all that sort of stuff, they pick them based on the data of the players who have played. So the Celtics weren't picked to win 40 games because Jaylen Brown sucked. They were picked to win 40 games because Jaylen Brown was Jaylen Brown and the rest of the roster sucked. And Jaylen Brown has never played the way that he played.
And you know what? And after you saying that, I hate to say this, but if you can't find a way to make certain pieces go around Tatum and Brown, I hate to say it, but maybe you're right. Maybe you do trade Jaylen.
Somebody got to go. Somebody
Maybe
gotta
you
go.
do. I don't want them to do it. I in my mind, and maybe I'm being stubborn. I think there's moves out there you can make that would make this team better for next season and have them compete.
But let me challenge you. Let me challenge you, Les, before I go to AD. If you trade Tatum or Brown, who are you getting?
I think we talked about this on the chat. I might, depending on what happens with the Spurs, I might try and move him to the Spurs.
No,
and try and
the
get
Spurs ain't traded nobody. The Spurs
For
ain't
who?
traded
Hell no.
The Spurs
Yeah.
ain't traded nobody.
I like
OKC ain't traded nobody.
I think, depending on what Portland does, not Portland. I know it sounds crazy, but I think Castle's going to be an all-star.
He's
Like,
not going
ain't
anywhere.
crazy.
Exactly.
He's not
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? We all know he's going to be an all-star.
So you
Probably by
telling me-
next year.
So you telling me if the Spurs somehow don't get, I don't know, to the Western Conference Final and they lose, and there's an opportunity to get Jaylen Brown, they
They've
wouldn't
already
do it?
overachieved, bro.
Right.
They don't want to do
Why
that.
Why would you take Jaylen Brown's $60 million salary and 30-year age for your young, cheap,
Get rid of your
brand
youth.
new, right, NBA future all-star? Only thing Castle has to do is change his stupid haircut, and he's an all-star. Period.
Okay.
And
So
just
you would
keep
never
working
take
on his
Jaylen
jump
Brown for
shot.
that.
All he got to do is keep working on his jump shot.
Okay, I'm open to being wrong on this. I'm totally open with being wrong with this. Hell, I'll say I'm wrong. Then if that's the case, then Brown's basically untradeable.
No, he's not untradeable. I like
Not
a trade.
untradeable.
If you're trading Brown, I forgot that Atlanta had New Orleans pick. So if you're looking at when's the lottery? May 10th. So the lottery's on May 10th. If Atlanta gets a good pick, you send him there. You take that high pick and for future picks, because I don't think Jaylen Brown is going to be good. So I don't think he's going to be better, is what I'm going to say. So Jaylen Brown's never going to be better than he was this year. So if he's on Atlanta, you have a top 5 pick this year, and then you have future picks, their future picks, because they're going to be like, oh no, we're going to win. No, they ain't. They're not a title contending team with Jaylen Brown. So we get this year's pick, and we get a pick every other year from there.
He's contending with Jaylen Brown.
I don't think they're better. I don't think they're better than the Celtics.
You put Jaylen Brown with Jalen Johnson, and
you put Jason Tatum and DeBonsa, for example. Like say it's a high pick. You put Jason Tatum and DeBonsa. Are they better than Atlanta? I think they're better than Atlanta.
I don't know. The problem is if you're not getting any talent,
you keep Derek White.
But
they're better than Atlanta still.
You'll get more back from Atlanta, right?
I think
Atlanta is a good option, right?
It is.
I think another option, honestly, is to package around Tatum that you do a blockbuster with Dallas, right? And you get like a PJ and all those role players that can make you a deeper team. You know what I mean? Like you could do something like that.
You'll be open to that.
You don't trade for Irving, obviously, but because he ain't trying to come back here. But
isn't that the same thing Aaron just said about the Spurs? Like, why would they take a 30-year-old $60 million?
Why wouldn't they? They got Kyrie Irving coming back. They got Cooper Flag. Why wouldn't they?
Actually, Brown and Irving don't get along. So why would they take them there? I don't want fringe play. If you're forcing me to trade one of them, then I'm not taking back fringe. I like your trade. I like Atlanta. If you're trading Jaylen Brown, I like Atlanta. If you're not trading either one of them, I'm picturing, as you're talking, I'm thinking of the stats to where you're losing Derek White. Peyton Pritchard is now your starter, or you find another starter and keep Peyton Pritchard on the bench. You have Tatum, Brown, and Zion. You have a fill-in center, and you have Pritchard at the point. To me, that's an East winning team. To me,
Zion is the best answer for me for the Celtics.
And you like,
I don't like it.
That's fucking.
I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is
he completely changes their philosophy. I don't want to go back into this. He completely.
You're right.
Zion, when he
all
steps
the
on the court, bro, you have to be accountable for that live body, bro. Like,
and he's gonna get hurt.
Like, he's getting to the free throw line. Like, he's like, dudes don't want to get dunked on. He's a threat at the rim. The Celtics have zero rim pressure unless they dump the ball down. right? Like the way they looked at Cater the other day was wild, bro. The way like they looked at like even Robert Williams was like Robert Williams is exactly what everybody thought he was in Portland right now, right? Because in the Suns he looked a lot better because like they had to dump it off and he was making his dunks. Zion is not that dude. Zion is the dude that's going to put pressure on you, bro. There's no one that's going to look at a Brown, Zion, and Tatum combination and be like, yo, they can't win it all.
You know what?
You can't beat that.
You know what? I've been agreeing with Aaron a lot this episode, and out of all the deals I've heard, I'd rather keep Jalen and Tatum and try and get Ja Morant here.
Oh, I'm not getting Ja Morant.
That's just what I feel.
God.
That's what I feel.
I'm not getting Ja.
I'm agreeing with Aaron a lot in this episode.
Listen to me. Listen to me. That man will be. That man will be.
And I don't live in Boston anymore. I don't gotta worry about getting popped.
Oh, what's AD about to say?
He's gonna be a victim.
I said I don't live in Boston anymore. I don't gotta worry about getting popped.
We gotta stop it.
He'll be in the C4 acting stupid.
He's gonna go. He's gonna be a victim of the Commonwealth, guys. You gotta stop it.
I've made certain assumptions with some players. I really have not been. But I'm talking about I'm thinking of New England history. So I didn't think Corey Dillon would work here. He altered and every single thing that you look at a Corey Dillon, you look at a Randy Moss, you look at some other players that have come here. They don't work ultimately, but they do work for 1 or 2 years though. They do work here for a couple years.
They had Belichick though. That's the kicker though, AC. We don't have that leadership. Ja Morant
beat Joe's butt.
But Ja Morant kills the Missoula ball philosophy though. He's not gonna
good.
Good.
Is that like and then you're now rendered with a coach who doesn't have a philosophy and you need a new coach if you get Ja.
No, I feel like you force Joe to
you would need a new coach if you get Ja.
If you need a new coach, then the coach of the year and everything that the Yahoos have been saying, of course, are false. If Ja Morant is here and you're looking at that sort of rotation, then if Ja Morant's here and we're watching the Celtics shoot 53s, then you fire the coach before the end of the in-season tournament.
I agree.
Simple.
So let me ask y'all this, right?
And now you don't have to jog up the court all the time because he's pushing the ball, he's attacking, he's pressuring the rim. Go ahead, and my apologies.
Yeah, no. Those are all great points, but y'all, everything is offensively. Ja doesn't play defense.
Ja
gotta play defense.
Nobody. Ja don't. He's worse.
And Ja has to.
He's way worse.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Multiple positions.
In the East, if he comes to the East Coast, you gotta play defense in the East. You have to. And I don't think he can do that. I think it's a culture thing for me too.
I think like people said Simons tried to play D when he was here. Vulacek, no. I mean, he's really bad on defense for us, but
I think he's worse than what anybody imagined he was. Yeah. I didn't think he was that bad on D either.
I didn't think he was either, but I feel like you could coach Ja to be decent on defense. I think you can get away with it. And I think being in the East with these other point guards could challenge him to be a better player too. If he's got that dog in him. I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan.
One more guy besides Zion that I think the Celtics should trade for, and they're not going to get, and that's Jared Allen.
Who?
Jared Allen.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, who would you trade? Who would you trade for him?
I mean, you could get Derek White off. But,
no, I'm not trading Derek White for Jared Allen.
I am. I love Derek White, right? But I think Jared Allen presents a different kind of animal for the Celtics, right? If I'm the Celtics, I'm looking at Jared Allen. I think he gives them a true center, right? He protects the rim, right? He's a lob threat, and he can help you win ugly games. I don't know. He helps you win right away. He's at $28 million, right? I I would go with him, or and then if I'm looking defensively, I'm looking at like a Herb Jones. Like I'm not saying you go get another superstar, but I think that if you're not getting Zion, you go get Jared Allen. That's all. That's just my philosophy. That's my thought.
Not for Derek White. No.
But who is going to provide rim pressure and rim protection? If you don't have rim pressure and rim protection,
how many times do you need rim protection in the Eastern Conference? So you're playing Embiid.
Watch the game.
You're playing Embiid, and that's it. That's it.
Giannis.
Nah, but you always still need rim protection though. AC. It's not.
You
It's
can
not
get.
about
I mean, but you can get. I agree. But what I'm saying is, of course, you need rim protection. What I'm talking about is you don't give up Derek White for Jared Allen for that missing rim protection. If you're giving up Derek White, who is, I mean, I think we all agree is I think you've called him the Celtics' most important player.
Yeah.
So how are you giving up the most important player for Jared Allen?
The other guy who's the most important, who could be one of your most important players.
No, I don't think he replaces. I don't think the defense he gives you at the rim replaces what Derek White gives you on the perimeter.
Listen,
I don't think it's an even trade.
Any of you guys think that Kata is going to be a better player next year?
No, he's peaking. The Celtics have 10 guys who peaked.
He's just like Robert Williams. He's just like Robert Williams though, less. Like in the Celtics system, he doesn't get a chance to develop because what's he asked to do? They don't give him the ball. Like yesterday was the most moves I ever seen him do. Yesterday.
Bro, the one possession when they were down by 1 and he did a reverse pivot pirouette with 8 seconds left on the clock. I wanted to go out and drink it.
Yeah.
Why did he even? That's when I wanted to kill Missoula because I'm like, yo, I would have called timeout the second he started doing that pirouette on Embiid.
Yo, like,
but it almost went in. He almost got it.
Almost got them sitting at home.
But
yeah.
True. But my thing is for rim protection and rebounding, I feel like he's getting better the more he plays.
I'm going to say it.
Like I said, we said the same thing about Robert Williams. We said the same thing.
Yeah, but this guy doesn't get hurt like Robert Williams.
So this is where the evaluation comes in. Once again, how many players on the Celtics after this year are going to get better? I'm talking about better to where they're demonstrably better, and the Celtics are overall, it lifts the team as a whole. So you have a couple guys who are developing, yeah, sure. But is their ceiling full-on rotational NBA players? So Shireman, what number is he in an NBA rotation? At his peak, like think about his peak. What is he? Is he the 7th man? The 8th man at his peak?
For him, isn't this only like his second year?
I think he stayed a year over or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, let's put it this way. He hasn't been here 4 years, so he's still
okay. So what's his peak?
He's about to his third year though.
Yeah, what's Kata's peak? Like give an NBA comp of Kata's peak.
Rob Williams, maybe? I don't know.
I already said that. I just said that.
Exactly. There you go. So that's what he's going to be. I don't even think he's as good defensively as Williams when Williams felt like playing.
He's not.
So every player on the Celtics, you have to look at when we're talking about trades, when we're looking at keeping Brown, keeping Tatum, et cetera, how many of these guys who had the best year of their career are going to top that? And that is what you're looking at when you're evaluating the talent. Like we look at San Antonio, right? And we know that Castle's getting better. We know that their players are getting better. I think the only rotation guy that San Antonio has that is not going to get better is Fox. We know what Fox is. Everybody on that roster is getting better. OKC, the champions, they still have guys who are getting better. Mm-hmm. They still have guys who are getting better. The Celtics, we already know Jaylen Brown is not going to be better than he was this year. Jason Tatum, even though he came back and we're all amazed, myself included, about how he looks coming off the Achilles, we still don't know.
Yeah, he said one leg is bigger than the other still.
Right. We don't know what he's going to be for, I mean, let's be honest, for his career. We don't know. So if this is their peak, we're either talking trades or we're talking everybody internally getting better than they were with 56 wins this year.
All right. Well, let's close out with this question. AD, if you have a game 7 and you have one player left in the playoffs to take a shot to win the game, on a lot one possession to win the game, who you going with?
That's left.
Yep.
So SGA.
Les?
SGA.
AD? AC?
I'm going to assume that if he comes back, I'm taking Luka.
That's a good pick. I thought about that.
I'm going Ant-Man.
That's a great pick.
I'm going Ant-Man.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I like all three of those answers.
Yeah,
All three of them are proven.
I like Shea because he gonna get the foul, so he might get fouled, right? Like
That's what I'm saying. He gets so he puts so much pressure on your defense, like you're almost forced to foul him because you're so nervous about if he's gonna get the call or not anyway.
right.
And I think all of them. I think all of them are good. Like I flashed to LeBron for a second, but when you
I was
think
gonna say him too.
yeah, when you think of SGA, when you think of Luka, when you think of Ant, not only should they take the shot, but all of them want the basketball. And
Right.
one of the reasons that they like, especially Edwards. I mean, I go up and down with how I feel about him as a player, but he wants he wants the basketball, and Luka definitely wants the basketball. So yeah, those are all great.
And you know what all three of those guys got that Brown doesn't have besides just being better?
Ball handling?
Well, but they know what they are going to do with the ball, I want to say 99% of the time. And there's a part of me that feels that Brown doesn't know what he's going to do with the ball.
I think he knows what he wants to do, but I don't think he can do it.
Nah,
right?
So nah, what it is, like he don't see plays ahead of it. So like if I'm bringing the ball up and I know I'm about to call a pick at an angle, he should already know that either they're gonna jump the pick and roll, and all you got to do is dump it, and now the man at the free throw line has a 2-on-1. Now he can either attack the hole or he could throw the lob. You know what I mean? But Jalen doesn't think like that. Jalen still tries to think about himself and get his shit off.
Yeah, I think Tatum and Brown, they just work too hard to score. And I worry about
Tatum. It's the system. It's been the system for the last 10 years. It's one-on-one.
Yep, and philosophically, right? And I know this, traditionally, when people come out for the Achilles, Dominique was the first one to come back and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, average 28. Right.
One thing that everybody else who tore the Achilles came back with and lost immediately is their defensive ability. And that was and I know Tatum just came back, but that was very apparent with Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum got equally the amount of same problems as Brown does. I think Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown feels that the coach is not his kind of coach. Right?
He's nobody's coach.
I think, huh?
Nothing. He's nobody's coach.
It's kind of hard to say that because this man got Eastern Conference Finals Player of the Year and Finals MVP under Mazzulla's
That Finals MVP was not deserved.
I know he shouldn't have got it. I know he shouldn't have got it. But hey,
right. I'll say that. All right, so we'll wrap up. Say goodnight. Appreciate y'all. Join us again next week. Well, I'm sure we'll have more stuff to talk about, especially now with the Celtics not being here. I appreciate y'all. And my dog, I don't want her to soak up all the screen time. So say goodnight.
All right.
Peace.